Hi, thank you for joining my community. This video is part of the Behind the Mix series. As a member of my community, you will get access to exclusive videos uploaded weekly. In the Behind the Mix series, we will listen to classic hit songs in many different genres, from rock to pop, from disco to funk and beyond. At the end of each video, you will be able to listen to the individual audio stems organized by groups based on music instrument type. The first part of the videos will start with a brief analysis of the track, along with production history and list of musicians and artists that took part in the making of the song. All the material in the Behind the Mix series is for educational purpose only. Enjoy! Hi, welcome to Behind the Mix with Giulio. In this episode, we will listen and talk about Can You Feel It by the Jackson 5 or the Jacksons. This is a classic early 80s disco funk song, and this was way before Michael went solo and started to work with Quincy Jones. This song was produced by Greg Phillinganes along with the Jacksons, and includes already some of the elements that Michael Jackson will be using in the first few records that he did with Quincy Jones, including the signature percussion sounds using hand claps, voice, sticks and random objects. And at the same time, we have some elements like the string arrangements and the horn arrangements, which are signature arrangement elements that are being used throughout the whole disco phase in order to emphasize that kind of nostalgic, happy, optimistic vibe that most of the disco tracks are associated with. This recording session includes, in particular, 72 tracks. Some of the tracks I've muted because have the SMPTE code running, which was the equivalent of having a sort of a click track in order to sync the different parts recorded on tape. This was obviously before the use of computers and digital audio workstations. Even so, we have a very good idea, a very good overview on what were the stylistical choices when it comes down to arrangement in order to create a track which was performed and associated with one of the most successful boy bands of all time. In order to analyze the tracks, I divided each section by instrument type. So we will have the guitars, the bass, the drums, the percussions, the strings, the brass, and also the choir. If you watch the video, which was released in 1981, you can definitely understand what I'm saying by a message of unity and positivity and peace. The drum section in this particular song is rather raw and definitely something that I guess it was purposely done to emphasize the kick and the snare, because we are talking about a disco song. The other section that follows immediately the drums, obviously, is the percussions. In the percussions, we hear mainly 4 different elements: the hand claps, the sticks, timpani, and chimes. When it comes to the bass part, I have only 2 tracks in this session. One of the tracks is rather distorted, so I decided to use the clean track. It sounds like it's just a microphone straight through in front of a bass amp. And the part of the bass is very simple, extremely groovy, and it's playing an ostinato, which means it's the same figure repeated over and over during the song, while everything else on top of it changes. And then after listening to the bass part, we definitely have to move to Tito Jackson part. I remind you that if you want to jump and listen to the isolated audio stamps parts organized in groups by music instrument type, you can do so by clicking on the timestamps, which are included in the video description below. In the electric guitar parts, we can hear definitely a classic disco arrangement. We have two electric guitars, which are panned left and right. Then we have a guitar that does fills, and another one that reinforces the arrangement, the existing arrangement. Even in its simplicity, we hear a lot of taste. It's very interesting to notice that one of the audio tracks includes guitar, but also percussions. And I don't know if this is because they recorded the percussions along of the guitar and you can hear the feed in of the audio from the percussions, or it is actually feeding in from the headphones. Based on what I can hear, it sounds that the guitar was recorded at the same time when they were recording the percussion parts. And the guitar parts, along with the drums and the bass, are definitely something that kind of like keeps the same ostinato going on. But when we go and analyze Greg's parts, for example, the Moog and the keys, we can see a more sophisticated choice when it comes down to chords, counterpoint parts, and arrangement. This is definitely a very good example of Greg's arrangements when it comes down to work with the Jackson 5. Followed by the piano and keyboards part, or piano and synth part. So we have a dedicated section just for the synthesizers. In this part, we have more fills and different types of phrases that will emphasize the part that are played both by the piano but also by the guitar and the bass. It's very interesting to notice that some of these parts, they are just dynamic parts that include crescendos and fades in and fade outs with some effects. And all the other parts, they still keep that same rhythmic figure of the ostinato played by the bass and the guitar. Followed by Greg parts, and remember that also Ronnie Foster played keyboards in this. There are two super talented musicians, and Greg is a great producer too. And the biographies are obviously included in this video, following up this brief overview of the track. And I strongly suggest you to check Greg's discography and also Ronnie's discography and see all the different collaborations and productions they've been part of, because they've been some of the pioneers of the 80s sound, in particular when it comes down to funk and disco. Another section of this song that definitely is full of personality is the horns and strings parts. If we go and hear to the parts of the French horn, trombone, trumpet, and reeds, and then to this section, we can go and add the string section, which doesn't include, based on what I can see, any upright part, but it's mostly violins, viola, and cello. So we have 3 mono tracks. And in this demo, we can hear Michael singing both Randy Jackson parts and his own parts. And we hear the guitar, which was played by Tito Jackson, and the drums. And just with drums and guitar, we definitely can hear what would be the final arrangement as far as it comes for the Jackson 5. Not obviously including the string section or the horn section. We definitely can hear that the melodies that will be played later on by the bass or even by the strings actually, or the vocals, are being played on guitar.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and all these different parts, they can be heard separately in the final parts of this video. You just check the time steps in the video description and you can jump and hear the drum parts, the bass parts, and obviously each individual section, the strings, the choir, the horns, and so forth. So all this is only for educational purposes. Obviously, you're welcome to ask me questions about the production. If you want to hear more about what gear was used, whether using a Moog or a different type of synthesizers, what type of microphones, what were the choices of Greg, and which ones were the choices of the Jackson 5. So all this will be discussed in details, especially during the first week of release of this video. So if you're new to my community, that means that this video might be very old by the time you join my community. No matter what, make sure to check the community tab on my YouTube channel. You have a section specifically dedicated to the members of my community where you can check the discussion, add-ons, and updates on each individual video. Enjoy!
Tito Jackson is a guitarist, singer, and songwriter who rose to fame as a member of the legendary group Jackson 5, aka the Jacksons. Tito Jackson was born in Gary, Indiana in 1953, and he is the third oldest of the Jackson siblings. He began playing the guitar at a young age, and he quickly became an integral part of the Jackson 5, contributing guitar, vocals, and songwriting to the group's music. The Jackson 5 was formed in 1964, and they quickly gained popularity with their energetic live performances and catchy hits. The group's debut single, I Want You Back, reached the top of the charts, and they went on to release a string of successful albums and singles throughout the 1970s. In addition to his work with the Jackson 5, Tito Jackson also released several solo albums, including Tito Jackson and Startin' Over Dot and Quat. He has also toured as a solo artist, and he has worked as a producer and arranger for other artists. Tito Jackson has received several awards and accolades for his work as a musician. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the Jackson 5 in 1997 and has been nominated for multiple Grammy Awards. Greg Phillinganes is a keyboardist, pianist, and songwriter who has played a prominent role in the music industry for over 4 decades. Phillinganes was born in Detroit, Michigan in 1956, and he began playing the piano at a young age. He attended the University of Michigan, where he studied classical piano and music theory. After graduating, he moved to Los Angeles and began working as a session musician. Phillinganes' first big break came in the late 1970s when he was asked to join the band of popular R&B singer Stevie Wonder. Phillinganes played keyboards on Wonder's albums Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants and Hotter Than July, and he also served as Wonder's music director and band leader. In addition to his work with Wonder, Phillinganes has played keyboards on countless albums by other artists, including Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, George Benson, and Eric Clapton. He has also released several solo albums, including Significant Gains and Pulse Dot and Quad. Phillinganes has received several awards and accolades for his work as a musician. He was inducted into the Musicians Hall of Fame in 2017 and has been nominated for multiple Grammy Awards. Ronnie Foster is a keyboardist, organist, and songwriter who has played a prominent role in the music industry for over 5 decades. Foster was born in Buffalo, New York in 1953, and he began playing the organ at a young age. He attended the Eastman School of Music, where he studied classical music and jazz. After graduating, he moved to New York City and began working as a session musician. Foster's first big break came in the 1970s when he was asked to join the band of popular jazz fusion group Return to Forever. Foster played keyboards on the group's albums Where Have I Known You Before and No Mystery, and he also contributed to the group's live performances. In addition to his work with Return to Forever, Foster has played keyboards on countless albums by other artists, including George Benson, Quincy Jones, and Herbie Hancock. He has also released several solo albums, including On the Avenue and Love Serenade. And Quad. Foster has received several awards and accolades for his work as a musician. He was inducted into the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame in 2016 and has been nominated for multiple Grammy Awards. In addition to his work as a performer, Foster has also worked as a producer and arranger, and he has contributed to numerous film and television soundtracks. Today, Foster is considered one of the most respected and accomplished keyboardists in the music industry, and he continues to tour and record with various artists. Nathan Watts is a bass player who has made a name for himself in the music industry through his work with a number of well-known artists. Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, Watts began playing bass at a young age and quickly developed a passion for music. He began performing in local clubs and eventually caught the attention of some of the biggest names in the music industry. Watts' big break came in the 1980s when he was recruited to play bass for the Jacksons. He played on the group's hit song Can You Feel It and toured with the band, helping to solidify their place as one of the top pop groups of the decade. In addition to his work with the Jacksons, Watts has also played bass on recordings by artists such as Stevie Wonder, Shaka Khan, and Elton John. Throughout his career, Watts has been praised for his exceptional musicianship and his ability to bring a unique style and energy to every performance. He is respected by his peers and loved by fans for his passion and dedication to his craft. Today, Watts continues to perform and record with some of the biggest names in the music industry, and his contributions have helped to shape the sound of modern popular music. Ollie E. Brown is a talented drummer who has made a name for himself in the music industry through his work with a number of well-known artists. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California, Brown began playing drums at a young age and quickly developed a passion for music. He began performing in local clubs and eventually caught the attention of some of the biggest names in the music industry. Brown's big break came in the 1970s when he was recruited to play drums for Michael Jackson. He played on the singer's hit album Off the Wall and toured with him, helping to establish Jackson as one of the biggest pop stars of the decade. In addition to his work with Jackson, Brown has also played drums on recordings by artists such as Quincy Jones, Natalie Cole, and Billy Joel. Throughout his career, Brown has been praised for his exceptional musicianship and his ability to bring a unique style and energy to every performance. He is respected by his peers and loved by fans for his passion and dedication to his craft. Today, Brown continues to perform and record with some of the biggest names in the music industry, and his contributions have helped to shape the sound of modern popular music. David Williams was a guitarist, songwriter, and session musician who played a prominent role in the music industry for over 3 decades. Williams was born in Detroit, Michigan in 1952 and began playing the guitar at a young age. He attended the University of Michigan, where he studied classical guitar and music theory. After graduating, he moved to Los Angeles and began working as a session musician. Williams's first big break came in the 1970s when he was asked to join the band of popular R&B singer Michael Jackson. Williams played guitar on Jackson's albums Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad, and he also contributed to the singer's live performances. In addition to his work with Jackson, Williams played guitar on countless albums by other artists, including Quincy Jones, George Benson, and Eric Clapton. He has also released several solo albums, including The Edge and Changes. And Quat. Williams has received several awards and accolades for his work as a musician. He was inducted into the Musicians Hall of Fame in 2010 and has been nominated for multiple Grammy Awards. In addition to his work as a performer, Williams has also worked as a producer and arranger, and he has contributed to numerous film and television soundtracks. David Williams passed away in 2004 at the age of 52. He is remembered as one of the most talented and respected guitarists in the music industry, and his contributions to the world of music continue to be celebrated and appreciated by fans around the world. Gary L. Coleman was a vibes player and percussionist known for his work in the jazz and funk genres. Born in New York City on January 8, 1943, Coleman began playing the vibraphone at a young age and quickly developed a passion for music. He studied with some of the finest musicians of the day, including Lionel Hampton and Milt Jackson, and quickly rose to prominence as a skilled and innovative performer. Coleman played with a number of notable bands and artists throughout his career, including the Count Basie Orchestra, the Duke Ellington Orchestra, and the George Benson Quartet. He also recorded a number of successful solo albums, including In the Pocket and Groove Master, which featured his signature blend of jazz and funk. Despite his success as a musician, Coleman was also known for his work as an educator, teaching at institutions such as the Juilliard School of Music and the New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music. He was a highly respected figure in the music community, and his contributions to the vibes and percussion world will not be forgotten. Coleman passed away on May 18, 2010, at 67. Stephanie Spruill is a choir director known for her work in the classical and choral music genres. She has a long history of leading and conducting choirs, both in the United States and abroad. Spruill began her career as a choir director at a young age and has since worked with a number of prestigious organizations, including the Metropolitan Opera, the New York Philharmonic, and the Boston Symphony Orchestra. She has also conducted choirs at top universities and conservatories, including Juilliard and the Eastman School of Music. In addition to her work as a choir director, Spruill is also a respected vocal coach and music educator. She has taught at various institutions and has trained many successful singers and musicians throughout her career. Tom Tom 84 played the strings in Can You Feel It and Quat. Tom Tom 84 is a string quartet known for its innovative and diverse repertoire, which ranges from classical to contemporary. The group was formed during the early 1980s by 4 talented musicians who shared a passion for exploring new musical horizons. Since its inception, Tom Tom 84 has gained a reputation as one of the premier string quartets in the world. They have performed at some of the most prestigious venues, including Carnegie Hall, the Royal Albert Hall, and the Sydney Opera House. They have also recorded several critically acclaimed albums, which have been praised for their technical prowess and musicality. In addition to their work as a quartet, the members of Tom Tom 84 are also active as soloists and educators. They have given masterclasses and workshops at institutions around the globe, and have inspired a new generation of musicians. Tom Tom 84 is known for its commitment, excellence, and its ability to connect with audiences through its music.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? All the color in the world to be. Da 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 da. Well, it's all ain't nothing to do your brother until I try to know that you tell me what to do and da 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 you do. 'Cause we're all the same. But the time not to do, not tell me. Can you feel it? 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 Da da dee dee, da 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 da, da da dee dee. The whole world got down the line, yeah. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Tell me, can you feel it? See what's going on. On a gun, the dee dee, da ba da 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 da. Well, it's alright. Tell me better, 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 do my day. Everybody wanna tell me no, but da 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 da. 'Cause we're all the same. Not inside of me, not of mine. Doodle-doo, doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Da-do, da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Can you feel it? Okay, that's it.